Good morning, Ranelagh, on this crisp, cold morning. So Adrian, your chaplain, just come to deliver my last video before we reach the Christmas break. I know many of you are tired, and that's not just you, that's staff, everyone. We're all tired. It's been a long old term. So I just want to say, this time next week, it's Christmas. We'll be breaking up and it'll be good for everyone. So I'd really encourage you to go away and get refreshed over the Christmas. Enjoy being with the people you care about, enjoy the time off, and prepare for a return back to school. Right, so today we are talking about a piece from the Bible, and it's, as always, and it comes from, and actually I'll just rewind that. This week Mr. Johnson gave a great video about living life to the full, where he spoke about coming back for the sixth form function, and he wasn't feeling up to it and he didn't fancy it, and then he came back and he was really glad he did, because he had a great time. I thought it was a great video actually. It was a really great message in there. So I don't think I'm going to do as good as him, but there we go. We'll give this a shot anyway. So the today's Bible reading comes from John 10:10. And it reads like this: The thief comes to steal and destroy. I have come so that you may have life to the full. I'm going to say it again. The thief comes to steal and destroy. I have come so that you can have and will live life to the full. Okay, so what does that all mean? So basically, the thief can be anything you want. Obviously, some people see it as the enemy, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call it. I also see it as our thoughts as well, and our actions, negative thoughts, negative actions that can actually undo all the good stuff that we've got. And then the I have come is Jesus. I have come so that you may live life to the full. And I think that's the message that we're trying to get across this week. Live life to the full. Don't sell yourself short. So I thought this week, I'll tell you a little bit about me and where I didn't live life to the full. Lots of stuff happened in my life in my early years. I had a really fantastic upbringing actually, really fantastic upbringing. Great parents, and thankfully they're still alive and kicking, although they're going through tough times with their health and that as they get older, but that happens to us all. But up until I went into secondary school, life was good. I was doing really well. And then I found out my sister was not very well, and one thing led to another, and I worked out that she wouldn't live beyond her teenage years, and it affected me. It affected my outlook on life, and I then chose not to live life to the full, and I made some bad decisions in school. I messed up in school. I had a bit of a pity party actually. I felt sorry for myself, even though, bless her, my sister never once moaned and groaned about her situation, but I did. And I literally messed up a lot of my education because of it, because I felt sorry for myself. And in some respects I was justified, but in other respects it got a bit boring for people. The world we live in now is fantastic, because young people are taken care of, and their emotional well-being as well as their educational well-being are taken into consideration massively, and they recognise you can't have one without the other actually. So what did I do? Well, I messed up my life massively. As I said, I left school not doing particularly brilliantly back then. You couldn't just get into college automatically. You had to get a reference from school. Mine wasn't particularly brilliant, and so I didn't get into college. I actually wanted to be a chef, but I didn't qualify to get into college. And I went and got a pretty random job. I was on a thing called then at the time, for a massive unemployment, is Youth Opportunity Scheme, and I was working on a maintenance contract in Sunningdale, opposite the golf course, maintaining a big conference centre. One day we'd run out of work. It was like kind of running about this time of year, and it was wet, damp, cold, and my boss came up to us, Adrian, he goes, we ain't got a lot on at the moment, so here's this, and they actually banned this substance, you don't make it now, this massive barrel of creosote. Said paint the inside of this fence 400 metres, it was about 400 metres long, inside and out, and it was all overgrown with bushes, and he goes, do all that, it's a preservative, and when you finish, come back and tell us. And I knew this was going to take me about a week. And about halfway through the first day, hidden behind this fence, no one could see me, between the bushes and the fence, I knelt down, and I actually had a tear in my eye, because I realised I'd messed up massively. I'd messed up my life. I wasn't living life to the full. I was actually minimising the things I could do in life. Actually then, sadly, worked out how long it would be before I retired. And I wasn't even 17, I was 16 then, which is really sad at 16 years old, working out how long it is till you retire. And I realised then life had to change, and I had to live life to the full, to the max, to get the full benefit of my life. So I decided to make some big changes. First of all, I was going to get my driving licence, which at 17 I did, passed first time. Goodness knows how, but I did. And then from there on in, I learned skills in construction. Went in construction, earned good money. And then there was the inflation rate went up, and that cost me a lot, because suddenly I had no work. So I worked for Panasonic for 10 years, which was great. And then they were relocating, and I had the chance to relocate with them to Northampton or stay back in Bracknell and do something else. And I chose to do something else. Last week I mentioned about being in the security industry. I've mentioned before about being in the security industry, and there was a documentary about this company that was training people privately to work in close protection. And so I took that up. I got a loan, cost me a lot of money, about £10,000, to get all the training I needed to get that into that lifestyle. And in 2 years' time, when I was being made redundant, the plan was to do that work, and I did. I actually made it. I decided then, I'm going to live this out to the full. I'm going to do this. Everyone else said, you're crazy, you shouldn't do that, it's a complete waste of money and you probably won't make it. And the only one who backed me was my wife. She said, yeah, Adrian, if that's what you really want to do with your life, go for it, I'll back you 1,000,000%. At the end of 2 years, I got my shot. I got made redundant, and the first job I worked on was one of the Spice Girls getting married. I was stuck out in the field trying to stop paparazzi coming in. It was pretty dull and mundane, but I ventured and I grew more, and I developed my own contracts and did really well in life. And then weirdly ended up doing things like X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. I did a lot of work, my own work for Ted Baker. I did the clothing people on big events, and also I did work for the Saudi royal family and the fourth richest family in the world. So this all sounds great. I thought I'd made it in life, because I was working up in London, staying at the best hotels, working abroad as well in and around Europe, staying in great hotels, being transported around in all these big flash cars, hanging out at lovely locations with people, being packed with people, celebrities coming out of big events and things like that. And I thought I'd cut it in life, but then I realised actually there wasn't. There was a big hole in my life that wasn't filled up. And stuff happened, circumstances happened, which led me to question myself and my faith and my future. I ended up going to a church for a funeral, sadly, but at that church, at the funeral, I questioned, where was God in my life? What could he offer me? What was the purpose of my life? And I laid the gauntlet down to God and said, where were you, God? Where are you about? And stuff started happening. And although I didn't want to, I got into a relationship with Jesus, and it was life-changing for me. And from then, I've never looked back. I've decided to give up my work in security, which I was earning great money for and had a great future in, to do work with young people. So I was adamant I would never see another young person fail initially in life like I did, which leads me to where I am today. Don't make the mistakes that I made. Live your life to the full. Grab every chance given to you and offered to you, and that starts right here in this place, Ranelagh. You are being offered a gift of education. You are being offered from that gift the chance of a better life after. You can still make it if you don't do particularly well, but this is the first step on the ladder of life when you leave here, for your further education, everything else. Anyway, I've gone on a lot about things today, but I want you to think over Christmas about grabbing and making the most of your life and living it to the full that serves you a purpose. So take that way, you know. Don't let negative thoughts interrupt your life, or don't let other people steal your joy. But live life to the max, to the full, and keep it real, and you will do incredible things with your life. I promise you that. I promise you that. So I'm going to close up with a prayer, and it's a prayer in and around Christmas. It's about gifts, and then I'll leave you to contemplate a wonderful Christmas. Heavenly Father, thank you for every young person, every member of staff in this location, in Ranelagh School. Thank you for the gift of education. Thank you for the gift of teachers and what they bring to the world. And thank you to the gift of young people and their potential. I pray, Lord Jesus, as Christmas comes and we see the gift of Jesus, that we would think about the gifts being offered and how we would unwrap and use those gifts, metaphorically, and they are gifts of everything that's offered to you to get through life. So Lord, just help these kids and adults use these gifts to get better lives. Pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Sorry it's a long-winded prayer, but I get very passionate about people fulfilling their potential. Take care. Have a fantastic Christmas. God bless, and look forward to seeing you in the new year. That will be 2022. Oh wow. Take care. Bye.